Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today. I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. It's Monday, so that means it's Poem Day. This is one of my favorites from Jalaluddin Rumi. So see if you can relate to it. It's called Gnats, 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 like bugs, gnats inside the wind. Some gnats came from the grass to speak to Solomon. Oh, Solomon, you are the champion of the oppressed. You give justice to the little guys. They don't get any littler than us. We are tiny metaphors for frailty. Can you defend us? Solomon says, who has mistreated you? Our complaint is against the wind. Well, says Solomon, you have pretty voices, you gnats. But remember, a judge cannot listen to just one side. I must hear both litigants. Of course, argued the gnats. Summon the east wind, says Solomon, and the wind arrives almost immediately. What happened to the gnat plaintiffs? Gone. Such is the way of every seeker who comes to complain before the high court. When the presence of God arrives, where are the seekers? First there's dying, then union, like gnats inside the wind. This week, besides tune in tomorrow, I'm going to give you my special beauty secrets. I'm going to be honoring the teachings of Robert Moore, one of my own intellectual mentors, who helped me delineate a kind of neo-Jungianism. For those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know I work with the four archetypes of king, queen, male and female, warrior, male and female lovers, and the high priest and high priestess model. So, of the many things that I've learned from him, one of his things is the 7 stages of initiation, where he talks about the cycles of competence. So, the first stage is questing. That's where you know you're missing something, but you don't have the slightest idea what it is. But you think you'll know it if you see it. So, this is a stage of what's called unconscious incompetence. You don't know, and you don't know that you don't know. The second stage is when you're seeking, you find it. You locate an image, but it's not in you, it's outside yourself, whether it's the idealizing family, the culture, the religion, the politics, whatever the belief system is. But now you realize there's something there and it ain't you. Sometimes I call it the great other. The third stage is what's called electroplating. There's a flow between you and whatever that thing is, and it arcs back to you. You discover that the power is in you. You try to put it on the teacher, but the teacher says, no, 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 you got it. And you try to deny, no, I don't have it. And you say, hey, you're looking at me like I truck in truth. So if I'm saying you got it, you got it. And of course, once you accept it, there's a little arrogance and inflation that comes in that state because you don't know that there's another crisis. But nonetheless, you're aware of something. So now we're at the level of conscious incompetence. But of course, at this stage, everybody falls on their ass. It's a necessary place in your line of development. But then at least you realize I have magnificent potentials. Then the fourth stage is all of a sudden you realize you can't contain it. You get depressed. You fall short. You keep questioning yourself, how long is this going to take? How much effort is it going to take? What cost is it going to be there? How much pain do I have to endure? And then you become despairing and sidetracked. And you have to learn there's no shame in getting support, in taking baby steps. So at that point, you realize I can't do it alone, and you begin to apprentice with a master. But here's the kid: a master is not someone who's perfect. A master is just somebody who's in the same field as you, but much, much further along. You don't have to look for somebody who's whole, WHOLE. You'll always fall short. All human beings are not perfect. But they model enough for you. And they allow you to be a journeyman or journeywoman with them. And this is where you develop your potential, and it's called conscious competence. And if you concentrate, you realize, wow, you can do it enough. You can do it really well. Then, if you stay with that, the sixth stage is optimizing the flow of your own experience. And you study the psychology of optimum flow. And how do you do that? By osmosis, by watching what the master does, the sponsor does, what the mentor does, call it whatever you want. You realize they're doing it in such a way where they're not even conscious how it's flowing from them. That's called unconscious competence. And then after a while, so much flows into you that you accept the stewardship, you accept the responsibility, and you ask yourself on an ongoing basis, who am I serving? What am I serving? And then you realize it's not what you have, it's how you use it. Quest, find, take the power back to discover you got magnificent potentials, realize you might fall short as you start, keep on going, apprentice with somebody, study what the master, the sponsor, the mentor does, and step into your own powers of stewardship and ask yourself, who and what am I serving? All right, don't forget that Wednesday is our next good vibrations yoga class. We're teaching inspiration and dissatisfaction. Great topic. I hope you join us from 11 to 1. Go to my website, gabrielhalpern.com, and register. And everybody always reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you and have a dialogue. All right, have a great day. Your peace.